Hello and welcome to day 4 of creating a peer-to-peer game in Rust, peer-to-peer web game in Rust. So we'll continue where we left off yesterday. I'll go ahead and share my screen. Okay. All right, so yesterday we made a little progress into figuring out, what path we need to take, and that is we had to fork. We absolutely had to fork. There really was no way to we would have had to copy a lot of stuff. And I think maybe the entire library, because there are a lot of things being referenced. So forking is the easiest path, at least. Yeah, so we're starting with that. We need to create an add player function, and actually we started creating that. All right, so what we want to do is add player on the session, right? And the session is coming from WebGGRS. And so let's go to our forked WebGGRS. And I think hold on a second. Is it coming from WebGGRS? I think it's just coming from, oh yeah, okay. WebGGRS. Where is this file again? Lib. Just looking for that place. Okay, right here. And actually it's GGRS, because what we want to change is this P2P session. Not this enum, but this. So yeah, here we go, GGRS. And the thing we want to change is this P2P session. This start P2P session, I think, is fine. It's just once it's already started, we want to be able to add players. So let's go to this struct. Add player. Here's the function we want to add. Put here. All right. And so what we need to do is to make sure that we check all the boxes in terms of what's expected to happen here. And we can see that in the start. I think in the builder. Yeah, start P2P session. So first, per player handle in number of players. Well, we'll have to update number of players for one. Guess we need a mutable reference to self. And we'll do self dot number of players. This equals 1. So I'm not entirely sure, like when a player disconnects, will this number of players get reduced? Or we just have a disconnected player, right? It doesn't matter too much at this point. Yeah, it shouldn't matter too much at this point, but well, sounds a little okay. Yeah, let's just go ahead and add that. All right, it's right here. Documentation. Okay. It wants this balance. Um, right. So self-number players. And we're gonna need the player handle. Registry. If self-player registry contains key, does not contain key, then there's an error. Now we're adding this key, so we need to add it. All right, hold on a second. Self-player registry. Okay, that's the builder. Right. So the builder already has like a player registry. Okay, here we go. Number of players, and then player registry as well. So we're gonna need the player handle. What else about the player registry do we need? Remotes. We're gonna have to add it as a remote. When you do add player, it'll always be a remote because yourself will always be there. Yeah, I think so. And let me go back to the main from our box game because I think there's some relevant things when we're putting together that builder. Should be somewhere in the lobby system. Wow. All right. Lobby system. So this session builds number of players. Let's see. Here. Let's add player on the builder. Might do a few things. So first, okay, we're gonna need the player type here ID and the player handle. Okay. All right, so the same stuff that's being done here in the builder for the player registry. We need to do this first. And then in the start session part, that one creates endpoints. So we'll have to do that next. All right. Check if the handle's already in use. Yes, that would be good to do. So, okay. So let's go to GGRS. Session, add player. All right. Let's see. So we check if it contains a player handle. Okay, we're gonna have to pass in the player handle. But if it already does, then that's an issue. So perfect. Let's go back to the main here. We're gonna have to pass the player and the player handle, player type, and player handle. And that's gonna be this here. Back to GGRS. Let's add those arguments that we're gonna need. Right, and that's from here. All right, we need to return that error. Let's see what was, I think, GGR results of GGRS error. Yeah, it could be the. All right, no, still not. Else, oh yeah, because the end, if everything was okay, we need to return stuff. I guess we don't. We're just mutating. So yeah. Okay. All right. What do I do? Can I do underscore here? I think I'm doing it right already, but yeah, what's this? I don't know what you call this, empty tuple or something, or just nothing. All right. So we check if the player's handles are in use. Let's go back here. We saw the builder. Check if the player handle is valid for the given player type. So okay. Yeah, we can copy all this. Okay, and then here let's add a comment for add player to registry. You know what? There's an issue here. If we're increasing the number of players and then all of a sudden, oh, the key's already there, this will return an error, but then this will not be returned to like if this fails, nothing should change, right? On the self. So we'll have to fix this. You do need to know the number of players before this is all over. Yeah, but maybe we'll do like a temporary variable and then assign at the end. All right. Let's go to builder. Oh yeah, I think we're done with builder. Right. Oh, not builder. This we do need. Okay. This is the other function, start P2P session. So then what happens? Check if all players are added. I don't know if this makes a ton of sense because we're just adding it in the same function. So this is just checking, I guess, that the builder was, I guess, set up correctly. Does this make sense? Let me think. Yeah, we don't need to add this. I think this is more like if the builder was not, is it? I don't know. Let me see. Number of players is coming from the builder. I see. Because you set the number of players in the builder and then you have to add each player individually, like in a loop or something. So it's possible to create a builder that's not correctly set up. But in this case, this doesn't apply. For our add player function. Okay. Count the number of players per address. This we need. And then for each unique address, create an endpoint. We need that. And that's going to assign all the resulting stuff. So, okay, we need that, but not for all players, right? So we don't want to iterate through all players. We just want to add one. So that's the little difference here that we need to do. Check Okay, count the number of players per address. What do we need the count for again? Maybe we just need to increase. Oh, this is a hash map. Let's see. Address count. Where does that go? It goes here to create the endpoints. We don't need to create endpoints for the already added users. Let's see. Player type tsconfig address. That's the same. I think that's the same as our player type we already have here. So number of players per address. We're mapping the, what's the type of this? We're mapping the address to a vec of player handles. So can multiple players be per address? Oh yeah, I guess so, because you could be potentially in split screen. Okay. So this will give you an address count. And then this will be used to create endpoints, because you don't want multiple endpoints for people who are on the same address. All right, good enough. Yeah, so instead of getting, guess how we're going to do this. We want to iterate the player registry to see if there's if our address is already in there. Right. What we're doing here is beyond the scope of what our game actually needs. There is no split screen right now, but for the sake of completeness, let's just, well, you know what? Maybe there is, because when we're testing locally, we're opening multiple browsers. I wonder if that counts as the same address. At least when viewed externally. Yeah, maybe it's not the same address, but let's do this anyhow. All right. So if we iterate through the player registry, oh, but we already added our player to the player registry. Maybe before we add it, we need to do this. I don't know. This is at the end. Okay. All right. So okay, let's fix this first, because I feel like I'm going to forget. Players equals I think it should say use size. It's not. It's not. I don't know why. So it's use size +1 should still be use size, right? That non-players equals too many equal signs. There we go. Okay, non-players, and then these just have to refer to not non-players. The self-local players. Okay, I don't need this. Check if the player handle. Okay. The player handle is valid for given player type. If this is a local player, I mean it shouldn't be because the game's already running. You're already there, but for whatever reason, itself the local players plus equals 1. Because there could be multiple local players. Okay. This is copied from a different function which has a local players. Yeah, this is the builder local players. By that point, okay, let's get back to this. Count number of players per address. Oh, I think, was I done with this number of players? Just want to make sure nothing's referencing self number of players. Yeah. I mean, if we're creating an endpoint, this probably needs to move to after we finally do add the handle to the registry. So this is fine. Yeah, this can't fail. Right, and then count number of players per address. This also cannot fail. Right, so the checks are done here. To check if our values are good.